Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Collectively Fearless. Today, I'm going to talk once again about the victim mentality, but first, I got to give a quick plug to my sponsor, Urban Boulevard. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, they are a clothing company. You can go to their website, which I'll link below. They got a lot of really cool clothing designs for you. So if you go on their website right now and you see anything on there that you really like, that you think would fit you well, and you think that would be very comfortable, that would fit your personality very well, make sure that you apply my promo code Maddie25 to get 25% off your purchase. So guys, go there, apply my discount code. You won't regret it. Now let's go ahead and continue with the rest of the episode. So this topic of the victim mentality, I've probably I've brought up like hundreds of times, but I want to first prelude this by just letting you guys know that I don't bring certain subjects and topics up, especially repetitively, because it's just some random thing that I want to talk about that it's just an idea that I'm like pulling out of thin air and making videos out of. That's not why I do it. The reason why I bring certain topics up, like let's say the victim mentality, or like the political arena, and just everything that's going on in the world. These are all things that obviously every single person in this world has experienced, but it's definitely something that I've experienced to a large extent. And guys, believe me, to this day, I still struggle with that. I still struggle with playing the victim and like using the victim card and just letting that absolutely not only like ruin my day and ruin my energy, but sometimes I do let it cripple me. There are days where I just feel so off that I feel like there's no solution, like my back is completely against the wall and there's nothing I can do. And we've all been there. And and the second thing that I'll bring up is that, like, I don't bring this topic up to shame people that are victims or have been victims in the past of other people's actions or of certain circumstances. Because I've been a victim of circumstances, right? I've been a victim of other people's actions, especially really shitty people. So I know how it feels to not be as trusting with other people anymore, to kind of always just have your guard up and just always feeling like you're just anxious all the time, like you're always walking on eggshells, like wondering what's going to happen next, like what's the next like really like unfortunate event that might take place in my life. And that's just not a very healthy and sustainable way to live. Because if you make that your whole life, well then, you'll find yourself, going down certain rabbit holes that will negatively affect you. Going back to, eating a bunch of junk food, or drinking a bunch of soda, because you're depressed, or going to the bar and slamming down, 6 or 7 beers because you're depressed, or like even smoking marijuana or taking edibles because you're in a very depressed state right now and you feel like a helpless victim. And so that's your escape, right? And that's definitely escape for me too. I wouldn't say I love smoking marijuana as much as I do taking edibles before bed, because I take a few of those, and not only does it help me sleep better, but I'm somewhere else. Like I'm not in my own reality right now. And there's like several different tangents that I can go on, but like one of them is like the metaverse. It's getting more and more popular, it's getting more and more mainstream, and at some point, sometime in the near future, you will be seeing people that are just completely depressed and feel like they're victims, they can't do anything, and so they feel like that's their only option, right? But I say this all the time. Once once you put on those goggles, right? And I have no idea what that experience might be like. I'm assuming that it's a lot like what you saw in like the cartoons and in the movies, right? Like you put on your virtual headset and you're just somewhere else, like the Matrix. But what I imagine it being like is, okay, you put that headset on and maybe you live some like really great fake life, and you're not living in your own reality. But then what happens when you have to take those goggles off? What happens when you have to put it down to go and take a piss? And you felt really great, and like you were on top of the world, and like everybody loved you, and you're living this dream life, right? And you've just never been happier, and you don't ever want to lose that. But as soon as you take those goggles off, it's like you'll switch from one extreme to the next, right? Like you'll be super happy in your metaverse world, and then when you get outside of that at all, then you start to get really depressed and just start to feel like, fuck. I actually don't live the. I'm actually not living my best life. I'm actually not as great as I thought I was. I am actually super obese and overweight, 35 years old, and still living in my mom's basement. Now I'm back to really being really depressed. Is that any way to live your life? I mean, please let me know, guys. Like, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to leave a comment, and let me know what you think. But I mean, do you see that as a very healthy and sustainable way to live? Because I don't. I definitely don't see someone like myself doing that. I mean, I can definitely see certain people doing that, because they just absolutely hate their life, right? And they just want that quick, easy fix, right? Which I think a lot of, the vast majority of people are just always looking for that quick solution, right? Which isn't reality, But anyway, I go on that tangent to validate the point that I really want to bring up, which is, guys, if you're constantly living in that state of victimhood and in that state of just being absolutely crippled, feeling like you can't do anything, and that that you don't have any potential, which everybody has potential, right? But how many people actually take initiative on that potential and continue on with it and see it through? Not very many people right now, right? But how long can you really live that way? For most people, they can live that way until the day that they die. But for certain people, like I mean, I see this sometimes with people that are even like 3 times older than me. Like I just I do understand, but I don't understand at the same time. I don't understand how someone can go for years and years, if not decades, and just never have that moment that clicked for them, or that moment that gave them that pinch that they needed. I don't understand how there was never a moment where the world shook them so much to the point where they had to change something, right? Where they had to change the trajectory of where their life was going. And most people never get there. And it's sad, and what's even sadder about that is the people that they just constantly surround themselves with. And look, I say this all the time. It's like a domino effect. If and I even made a tweet about it too, that that if you bring light into other people's life, even if you feel depressed, dark, and empty inside, that shit's gonna start to come back. It's gonna be reciprocated, because it's a domino effect, right? Same way if you're just constantly negative all the time. If you've made the decision in your mind that, okay, this is my life, and I'm just going to attach my identity to this, which that's what a lot of people have been doing, especially in the last 5 years. They've like all these influencers have normalized this so much to the point where people are just starting to attach their identities to this. And I know I'm close to 10 minutes here. I'm going to be done here really shortly, but yeah, people have really just latched on to this idea of, like, victimhood, and they've just made it like a normal way to live their life. And on top of that, the people that they're surrounding with, right? And it's not usually people that are high quality. It's usually not people that have any goals or ambitions. It's just people that are floating through space, right? But some people think that that's okay. Some people think that, okay, those people think like me, those people live like me, and so I need to hang out with those people, or I need to associate myself with those people. And those people aren't going to judge me, and they're going to love me no matter what. When guess what, it's actually the exact opposite of that. Because the more negative you are, and the more you keep holding on to this victim mentality, eventually they start to drag you down with them, right? And usually that doesn't end well. Usually you start to get sick of each other, and then I mean, those are usually the people that are the least loyal, because if you decide, hey, you know what, I want to make something in my life, I want to get better, I have goals and ambitions, and I'm gonna go to the gym, and I want to associate with people that are like-minded, that have the same goals that I have, that want the same things that I do, and it's just gonna it just always gets better from there. But when it comes to hanging out with low quality people, or associating yourself with low quality people, eventually those people start to eat their own, and then what? So now you don't have any friends. Now you don't have any people in your circle. So I guess it's time to it's time to start changing shit. It's time to start going back to square one, and figure out what you're going to do. How do I make my life better? How do I get less depressed? How do I get less anxious? How do I get happier? How do I start attracting the right people into my life? How do I start to attract higher quality people? Well, sometimes that's what it takes. It takes that moment in time. It takes that so sometimes the universe has to kind of shake you up a little bit, and go, hey man, you need to get moving right now, and quick. And that's what it takes. And guys, that's why I think the victim mentality, it's the wrong path to go down for a plethora of different reasons, but those are just a few that I've listed that that stick out to me the most, that are pretty obvious. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode on the victim mentality. I hope I was a little bit more clear in talking about this. But if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel on YouTube at Collectively Fearless, to get more videos, to get more updates. Follow me on Instagram at itsmatty_ice, and make sure that you share this content with your friends and your family, especially if you think they need it the most. And go to my sponsor and see if there's anything on their website that you really like, that you want to make a purchase for, and make sure that you apply my promo code. Now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here, but I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And until tomorrow, I will see you again very, very soon.